This is Wretched Radio with Todd Friel.
Choir? Choir! What happened to the choir?
She waits for consummation.
Yep. We're going to get through verse 3 because nobody sings verse 3 anymore.
With the vision glorious, her longing eyes are
Why is it always
blessed.
verse 3 that goes?
And the great church victorious shall be the church at rest.
Am I not mixed very well? Do I have it too loud for you? See, that's the problem with you youngsters. You don't like your church music loud. This is Wretched Radio.
I want to be able to hear the congregation sing.
You can't hear anybody sing, including yourself. It's so loud in so many churches. Honestly.
Be it organ or praise band.
How are we supposed to encourage one another? Psalms, hymns, spiritual songs. Sing. When you hear other people singing, it's an encouragement. Now, I didn't say it's good quality, but it is an encouragement. Heard a sermon on this Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. It was based on Psalm 85, maybe Psalm 86, how we are to pour our hearts out to the Lord. And one of the things that you'll notice about the Psalms, I maybe don't have the statistic right here, but 50-some, maybe 57 of the 150 Psalms are set to music. In fact, the Hebrew word probably is a little bit closer to praises than psalms, because this was like the hymnal of the Jewish people. And it was really the hymnal of the church for a long, long time. Doesn't mean that we can't have other songs that are based in truth that we sing. That's because hence, I believe, psalms, hymns, spiritual songs, so not just psalms, but we're to be singing praises to God poetically is the highest form of communication you'll ever experience. This is better than any rhetoric that you will ever hear. I'm thinking about Michael Eric Dyson. He's a plenty smart guy. I just was watching him debate Jordan Peterson. He uses like big words all over the place, and he tries to sound brilliant. I guess he is. I don't think he says much, frankly. But it sounds like, ooh, he must be smart because listen to how erudite he presents his thoughts. Doesn't even come close to singing praises to God in poetic meter. Doesn't even come close. By the way, you want to go bang your head against the wall? Watch the Jordan Peterson, Michael Dyson debate. You'll just go absolutely bonkers on this. They were talking about postmodernism. They were talking about social justice issues. And Jordan Peterson was saying, yes, racism is an issue, but it's not the only issue, and it's not the only reason for problems in our culture. And Mike Dyson actually said, you're just saying that because you're a mad, mean white man. What? What does his whiteness have to do with the fact that he either is or isn't mean or mad? You can make that accusation if you want to, but what did white have to do with it? He imports it in, and just baiting people. It was unbelievable, and he wouldn't recant, take it back. You know what, I really shouldn't have, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. You're right. Thanks for correcting me on that. No. He put the pedal to the metal and blah, 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 trying to justify himself. And enough people in the audience apparently brought his supposed lofty language. Watch it. It'll drive you bonkers. At any rate, loftier speech is singing praise to God set to music in poetic meter, which is what the Psalms are set in. It's a different type of poetry. We like to rhyme, and they like to do parallelisms much more. It's a different style of poetry, but it's lofty. And when you are setting it to music, which is lovely, it is beautiful, and then your object is the highest thing in the universe, when you sing a psalm or a hymn or a spiritual song, not a repetitious, mindless, reckless sort of song, which, by the way, where did I write? I've got this written down. Oh, wait a second. Maybe I've got it right. No, I've got it written. Well, somewhere in my stack of things around here, where this reckless business, I've been giving it some thinking about, God's reckless love, and then people justify it. I don't think you can justify calling God's love reckless. more than that, I think it's dangerous. I've noted before that there's a number of new words that are being imported into Christianity. The scandalous love of God. Okay, they can justify that and say, well, no, what I mean by that is, kind of like a nuance of the word, or they find meaning number 17 at Merriam-Webster. Well, that's really what I was going for there. Here's the problem with not being precise in our descriptors for God's grace, love, or any of his attributes. It opens up the door to problems. So, for instance, let me say, I'm going to write a new song. It's about God's hot love. Joey, Tony, you got a problem with that? God's hot love?
Yes.
Ugh.
Oh, why? What's the problem? I don't understand.
The connotations of the word hot are very
that's biblical in
romantic.
the way
Not
you're
what I
thinking of
meant.
them.
I meant that it's fervent, and besides,
It's not what anyone else thinks.
It is a hot love that he has for us. Now, that's the defense of reckless love. Same thing. Here's the problem. If people start accepting God's hot love, is it a very far step to something really perverted in our thinking about God? Which, frankly, I think we actually do see in the NAR. If God is reckless, what kind of preaching can come out of that? I think there's a bit of an agenda to this, whether I don't think that some of these people are smart enough to figure out what they're doing, but I sure do believe that it provides for a launch pad. You get music into your brain, and it becomes a part of you, and then you can justify bad teaching based on bad theology set to music because it's a catchy tune. I think that stuff is far more dangerous, being reckless with our language. I think that author is reckless. He'd go, hey, are you calling me names? Exactly. Just look up the definition of reckless. It's doing it regardless of the consequences. Well, whatever. It's careless. That's not God's love. It's predetermined. It was settled beforehand. The major theme in Romans 1 through 8. That eternity before the world began, salvation was already declared, decreed, determined, really finished then, because when God says it, that's it. It's done. And he has determined to send out a general call that will be effectual on the people that he chooses to save. That's reckless. Not even close.
Could you
so
call
when
it
you're
an
singing,
endless love?
why not? Because it does last for eternity, don't you know? So we'll sing it as a duet in church.
So
and we'll
Lionel
actually set it
Richie?
to the same tune. Your endless love, my love. That's all I got. I can't remember the rest of it.
Yeah, let's just move on.
Your every breath that I take. It's got the word breathe. That's very hot these days. Your every step I take.
Now
Or am
we're
I getting
moving
it
to the
confused with
police.
the police song? Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry about that. Why not? God's love is arresting, so why not sing a police song? See what I did there? Well, look out for sloppy, reckless language. Our language and our
Sloppy
worship
wet.
should be precise. So because we want to describe rightly our God, that's the loftiest form of communication we can participate in. However, let's focus for just a moment on the music aspect of things, the musical part of our worship. Is there anything important about that? Just the music. There was a study that was done. Sorry, I don't have the exact stats. I didn't bring my notes from church on Sunday. Where they took music that people in this culture would agree, this sounds like that. And so there were things like, it sounds angry. It sounds romantic. It sounds sexual. It sounds kind of like worship music. All right, so they took those samples of that, and I believe the location was, I want to say Cambodia, and they went out to a village where people weren't all that educated, and they had them listen to this music and then use words to describe it, and lo and behold, music without lyrics, they identified with the same terms that people in this culture did. Why is that? Because music says something without saying a word. The way we produce music either bespeaks low, sexual, crude, angry, or lofty. And that's why our music matters in our church. It does speak. If we want to be a part of something bigger than just singing a song, I love to sing his songs, then let's have music that's lofty, that's set to good poetic meter, that's theologically profound about the greatest entity in the universe. And you will be doing something special on Sunday morning or in your car when you have that concert all by yourself. Doesn't matter how you sound, you'll be participating in the loftiest thing that you can do, singing accurate praises to God, set to music in poetic meter. Got a question for you. What type of music does your church sing? Until tomorrow, go serve your king.